Hello everybody, my name is Mateo Leon Rodriguez and welcome back to my Authortube channel. In today's video, I am starting a brand new challenge. That challenge is called the One Thing Challenge. This challenge was created by the incredibly talented Tanya Chacon. So, I know what you might be thinking, what the heck even is the One Thing Challenge? Well, there's actually two parts to this challenge. The first part of the challenge is actually finding some habits that will improve your writing. And the second part of the challenge is actually a list of prompts that Tanya has provided. Now, you are supposed to be doing these things daily, but because January is kind of hectic, I decided that I'm going to do days 1 through 17 in one video. If this sounds like fun, feel free to join the One Thing Challenge along with me, Tanya, and a bunch of others. I'll leave the video she made on the One Thing Challenge in the description down below. With that being said, let's get started. And for all of these, I'm going to be using a random number generator, so in case you're wondering, that's how I'm choosing what prompt to do. So day 1 is actually voice training. Take a paragraph that you wrote and write it in a different book style. So for this one, I decided I was going to go with the intro paragraph in draft 1 of Project Monarch Medallion. Hello, my name is Joel Mario Gonzalez Rivera, and my world is falling apart. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but not by much. Before last week, I did not believe in lechuzas, duendes, or magic, but now I'm not so sure. Maybe my grandma isn't as crazy as I thought, or maybe I just hit my head too hard when I was fighting for my life. Okay, now time to do some voice training and rewrite that in a different style. For this paragraph in particular, I decided to go with the writing style from Red Rising. My name is Joel Mario Gonzalez Rivera, and I'm starting to wonder if the world around me is real or not. Before last week, I did not believe in the existence of lechuzas, duendes, or magic, but now I am not so sure. Perhaps my grandmother is more sane than I thought, or perhaps I just hit my head too hard when I was fighting for my right to live. So, what did you think? I was really trying to focus on creating more poetic prose because Pierce Brown is more poetic than my simple prose, and I hope that came across in this rewrite. Day 2, I got to read a sentence out loud from something that I wrote at some point that I liked. The sentence that I chose for this day is actually a sentence from the beginning portion of a novel that I scrapped. There comes a time in everyone's life where they must ask themselves two questions. What question do they want answered the most, and what will they sacrifice to get it? For me, Rumpe, the answer to the first question is where is Amber? The answer to the second question is everything. So yeah, even if I scrap that novel, I really do like that beginning. Day 3 is actually the color poem. So for this poem, what you have to do is choose a color, choose 3 things that are that color, and then choose an emotion. Full disclosure, I am not good at poetry, so if this sucks, I'm sorry. The color I went with is brown, and the emotion I chose is joy. Even a dull color can light up a life. A brown notebook filled with stories. A brown dog showing his age and his loyalty. A brown jacket to remind you to stay blessed. Essentially, I chose 3 brown things in my life that bring me joy. So that would be the notebook I write in, that would be my dog, and also a jacket that I have that says stay blessed. Day 4 actually asked the question, why am I excited for this work in progress to become a book? I have a few different reasons. The first one being, I just really want to say that I published a book. Because, I did the first draft, hopefully I can do the second draft, but if I could actually publish a book, that would be amazing because it can prove that I can do it. Secondly, I really want to share my culture with the world. I think it's important to learn about other cultures, and if I can do that in a fun way to children, adults, or anyone in between, I think it would be something that's really good. And lastly, I just want to bring joy to everybody. With everything that's going on in the world, I just think that maybe my book could spread some joy to people. For day 5, I got How Would My Character Fare in a High Stakes Card Game. It honestly depends on what the stakes are, because, Joel has played card games with money before, but also, if someone was in danger and he had to win a card game, I still feel like he would get nervous. So, it really depends on what the. Day 6 is another fun one. This one is what is the theme of the story in my view, and what is the theme of the story in my character's view. I would say the story has 3 main themes. The first theme is growing up. The second theme is learning to accept help. And the last theme is actually making the morally correct decision in a morally gray world. Now for Joel's perspective. What the heck? I'm in a story? That makes so much sense. I guess the theme is that you gotta do some things on your own and grow up. Day number 7 is take a character's arc and put it in a blurb. And of course, I'm going to be using Joel as the character. Joel is a timid but smart kid. He misses his brother, but he understands that his older brother is making his own life. Just kidding, his brother is captured. Over the course of the adventure, Joel becomes more brave as he continues to try to get his brother back. He faces supernatural threats, frees his brother, and after one final confrontation, finally gets to go home safe and sound. Day 8 is actually to write a paragraph in a very simple way and then write it in a very flowery or poetic way. Have you ever actually tried writing a dragon? It's not easy. If you're lucky enough to get one to trust you, you still gotta deal with getting it used to the saddle. They absolutely hate the straps and will absolutely knock you off the first couple of times. So that was the simple one. Now let's move on to the more poetic one. I believe you are misinformed. It is not easy mounting a dragon. If Lady Luck permits you the privilege of earning a dragon's trust, you then have the insurmountable task of getting it used to the saddle. They despise the leather straps, and they will not hesitate to buck you off on your first few attempts to mount them. Day 9 is how does the character style fit into the scene that I'm currently writing. While I am not currently writing a scene, let me just quickly talk about why this lab coat is important to Joel's character. For those of you that have not seen any of my other videos, this lab coat is important because this lab coat is the one that Pascual, Joel's older brother, gave him before he disappeared, essentially. Before he moved to the US, which was a lie. He was captured, but same thing. So that's why this lab coat is important, because it's the last gift that Joel received from his brother before he went missing. When he finds out that he's been captured, Joel brings this along with him to prove that he can take care of it and still get there in one piece, just to kind of show that he is grown up and he can take care of something that was given to him. Day 10 is actually to choose 3 of my favorite books and find something that I love that all of 3 of them have in common. So currently the top 3 books in my collection are Lightning by Dean Koontz, The Kane Chronicles by Rick Riordan, and The Giver. Something that they all have in common is that they have really good character dynamics. Day number 11 is what's one insult one character could hurl at another during an argument. So for this one, I have really good dialogue between Don Judas and Joel, Don Judas being the main bad guy, But I want to keep that a secret until the book comes out. So I'm just going to write a new line that still fits. I can't tell who's uglier, you or your minion. Day 12 is actually another poem, and that is the Don't Say It poem. Essentially, I have to take an object, describe it, but not say what it is. Again, I'm bad at poems, so bear with me. Tall, broad, or short, the purpose is the same. You've held my lifeline, my past, my vision. Reliable, malleable, durable. Dusk, dawn, high noon, you never complained. Unless you are broken, shaken, or taken, the things we create together cannot be contained. Can you guess what the object is? Let me know in the comments below. Day number 13 is look at the current scene that I'm writing. What is the earliest time I can leave the scene, and what is the latest time that I could enter the scene? The scene I'm currently working on is actually the scene where Joel's mother sings him happy birthday. So assuming that me, the author, is in the scene but can't be spotted, the earliest I could leave would probably be right away, and the latest that I can get there is probably right before Joel's mom sings him happy birthday. Day number 14 is if this book had a narrator, that's not the main character, what would their ulterior motive be? The narrator would probably be trying to tell everyone that supernatural entities exist and that they need to be prepared for them. Day number 15 is pretty fun. Day number 15 essentially says write a scene where a character lies and a different character calls them out for that lie. So, for some context, what I wrote was a scene where Joel is lying to Culebra, which is the mentor character, and Culebra calls Joel out. Tell me something, Joel. How did you manage to fight off the duende? I just got lucky. Does it look like I was born yesterday? Well, no. Alright, so stop lying to my face. How did you beat that thing? Day number 16 is another fun one, which is what was the last mundane thing that I did, and how could magic help me do that? So, the last mundane task that I did was take out the trash. And considering the way that my Alebrije magic system works, I could possibly tap into an Alebrije that's fast, and then take out the trash much faster. Okay, day 17, the last day for this video. The last prompt for this video is going to be write a scene where two characters lose something. Now, I could have done something simple, but that's not what I did. Instead, here is a scene where Joel and his grandmother talk about the loss of Joel's grandfather. I found my grandmother sitting on the old wooden bench my grandfather had made. Hey, abuelita, can I sit? Go ahead, mijo. As I sat down next to my grandmother, I examined my grandfather's handiwork. I couldn't even imagine making anything like this. Grandpa was really good at woodwork. He sure was. My grandmother's eyes drifted to the clouds above. Do you ever feel his presence? My grandmother shook her head. No, mijo, it doesn't work like that. He made it to the other side. So yeah, that was the last short little scene involving loss. While I will admit that some of these challenges were hard to do, they were all fun and they challenged me to become a better writer. If these prompts seem fun, feel free to do this challenge yourself. Again, thank you to Tanya for putting this together. If you want to see me do more challenges like this, feel free to subscribe. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. This is Mateo Leon Rodriguez, Authortube extraordinaire. Thank you for watching my video. You could find another one there.